Around about 2 months ago now, I bought an Audi R8 low mileage V8 manual, but it had a massive problem and it was half price. This is the problem. And that clicking sound you can hear is the engine not being able to turn over. Now, I thought it was the battery at first, so I put on a nice new battery because they was giving me issues, but still. It wouldn't turn over on the key with a new battery, so I'm assuming the engine seized at this point. So into the workshop we go, and we need to start diagnosing it, and I found that the spark plugs for cylinders 2 and 4 look like this. So we needed to get the engine out to fully assess it and strip it completely. So over the next couple of days, I managed to get the engine and gearbox out and strip it down. And I stripped off the right-hand bank, which was the issue, and this is what I found. I actually found a valve inside the cylinder itself, and you can see 2 and 4 are badly damaged. So I ended up buying a new second-hand engine to completely strip and rebuild. And it's a good job I did, because that second-hand engine that I spent £5,000 on also had some damage on the crank. So we've started rebuilding it, and this is where we're up to today. And for around about 6 weeks, the car has sat exactly on this spot, hasn't moved, has had a cover over it. I have just taken it off just because the weather's a bit nicer at the moment to air it all out a little bit. But yeah, we've got no engine, no gearbox, a lot of panels missing. Most of the interior is also missing as well. I have been waiting for injectors and just general parts to turn up. Those injectors have now come, so we can get back on the engine, and hopefully in today's video, if we don't get it in the car, we should get the engine mated up to the gearbox and quite a few ancillaries put on. So here's the engine, just sat nicely on a tyre. There's a few things we've got to do to it, mainly just put timing chain covers on. There's 3 we've got to put on, and then start putting injectors, fuel rails in. There's loads of stuff we need to do to build it back up. We've also got the clutch, flywheel, gearbox is here, and there's loads of ancillary parts over here that we need to fit as well. I've kept them all like they're separate just so I know where everything is. But yeah, they've all got going as well. So a quick update to where we're up to, and don't worry, I'm not balancing the weight of the engine on the table. It's literally just to stop it from twisting. Yeah, the last thing we did was actually time the engine all up properly, just to check it was all timed, which it was. And the only thing I can't remember if I've done or not is the second stage torquing the VVTs. Now I know I did the first stage because I think it was only about 40 Newton meters from memory. I've just booted up my laptop over there, which will tell me. I cannot remember if I've done the second stage. So what I'll do as a quick test is just set my torque wrench to sort of 50 Newton meters. And if it does start torquing up, then I know I haven't done the second stage. So yeah, we're going to attach the timing chain cover for the bottom, the 2 ones for the heads, fit all their injectors, fit the rocker covers, and then we can start building up the parts in the V. I might actually get the gearbox on first, so we'll put flywheel on, clutch, gearbox. I don't have a specific order, I'm just going to start doing things as I see them, and yeah, we'll just get there. Right, I'm using my fancy digital torque wrench, which is an absolute minefield to know how to set up properly. But I've checked them all, they were just off, I think they were at 60 Newton meters, so they're all at 80 now. So now I'm doing the 90 degrees. So the actual final torque setting is 90 plus 80, 80 plus 90 degrees. So now I'm just doing the 90 degrees. Now, whilst looking at the installation instructions to install the timing chain cover here, I do remember it from the B8 RS4. There's a little dowel that goes over this bolt here. And because it's really close to the top of the cylinder head, it's quite difficult to get it to fit on, especially when you've got sealant there, get it to fit on square. So what Elsa actually asks you to do is to remove the dowel, which I have here, and actually cut an angle in it, which I have also done as per instructions, look. And now you want to tilt this angle so it's at the closest side to the bottom of the head, just so when you fit it, it's a little bit easier to get over. So I've literally done it perfectly to the instructions, and now I've just got to put it back in with my ground off bit facing the head. So I've got the diagram of where all the sealant should go. So I'm just going to do that. And that one there, look. So the hole should help me locate a bit easier, I'm hoping. Or could make it harder actually. Wow, this is going to be a nightmare. I've got to come back a bit again. I don't know if I've got it or not. This is this is ridiculous. I don't know if it's got it. I can't. No, it's not got it. This is not good. This is a really rubbish way of doing it. So the problem I've got here, because my cylinder heads protrude past where the timing chains are going, my head gasket also does the same by a couple of inches. And because they are 3-layered, they kind of flap down a little bit because they're only thin metal. So trying to get the timing chain cover over the bolts for the gearbox onto the dowels and also trying to fit it under the head gasket is near enough impossible. And I must have spent 45 minutes and I had to take off the sealant because it had actually dried and relayer another layer of sealant. And in the end, I ended up having to take the studs for the gearbox out the top just so I could get it on. But eventually, after a lot of swearing, I managed to get it on. So this is the tricky bit here, putting this crank seal on. So I've got this special tool here, look, and as you can see, I've put the crank seal over it. You kind of pull it on, and then it sits over the crankshaft like this, so it's in the right position. And then you've got this bigger tool here to then just hammer it home. I'm going to be honest, I can't fully remember how this goes, so I'm just going to hope for the best and hope I can just drive it in. Be able to just there we go. Right, let's go for a bit of an update. Massive pain in the arse this panel was. I've probably explained, but I ended up having to remove 4 of the studs just to try and get the plate under the head gaskets here, and it was just, with these in the way, it was just proving impossible. But in the end, got there, got it all on, just about in time so the sealant didn't set, and then I've gone ahead and fitted my crank seal. 2 cam chain covers here on the top. Also fitted my rocker covers as well, and oil filter housing. Knock sensors fitted, and I've also fitted my oil control valves as well, all 4 of those. I'm basically just trying to plug up any holes so we can not worry about debris getting in the engine. So next I'm going to go ahead and fit my fuel pumps, and once they're on, injectors, and then start fitting the inlet manifold and start filling in this V. And yeah, we're getting there. And then I've got my crank seal to fit this side, and then we're going to start building up ancillaries, aircon. We got steering pump, I think it is, steering drive, I can't remember now, but that'll go in there as well. Engine brackets, and then we can get it mated to the gearbox. We're probably not going to be in this video, but yeah, I'll keep going. And the fuel pumps, I just need to swap straight off the old engine. This being the old engine, I haven't even touched this one, so it's literally just going to be bolt on, bolt off. The other one is actually still attached to the rocker cover, which is just flapping down here. There it is. So we'll get that fitted as well. So I think I've just about found a routing for these wires. I'm guessing that's this rail because it seems to sit there nicely. Regular fuel pressure regulator seems to go possibly on that bolt there, and I've got another one there. So yeah, I'll get there, I'll get there. The other thing, well, the reason this video has actually taken so long to come out is I've been waiting for injectors. So I actually sent the 8 injectors away from the original engine to be tested because the new engine didn't come with injectors, and I actually broke, they're over here. I actually broke They were completely seized in, 3 of them, and they just weren't coming out at all. Yeah, just completely seized in. No matter what I tried to get out, I couldn't get them out. So I had to order 3 new ones. Now, I just went on eBay and found 3 second-hand ones. I was always going to send them all away to be refurbished anyway, so I thought I'd just get 3 second-hand ones, match my 5 other second-hand ones, get them all sent away to be refurbished, tested, everything like that. So I did that, sent them all away, and the 3 that I bought come back as failed, and they turned out to be fake injectors. So I had a palaver of then having to cancel the sale on eBay, send them back, get a refund, buy 3 more injectors. Funnily enough, the second time around, the 3 injectors I bought were from the same seller that I bought this second-hand engine from. So no doubt that those 3 injectors I bought actually originally came from the new engine. It's all a bit of a mind. You know, but I ended up sending them away, get them retested, and now they're all back. So yeah, that is why it's taken so long. So they're all in a bag here, 1 to 8, all good to go, so we can fit these now. So then we just need to fit that little clip and bucket there, look, which keeps it in, and then we can just press it into the hole. I'm guessing, actually don't know, the position of, they probably need to find out the position of the wiring, because I'm assuming they point that way. I don't really know. I'll find out. So now we're pretty much done on the top of the V until we can really get the gearbox on. I'm just going to start building up this side of the engine, starting with our aircon compressor, and that is driven off the timing chains, which is in turn driven off this little spline drive here, which just slots in, and then we've just got a little cover which I'll sort out in a moment, but that is our drive. And then the 6 little screws go nicely into here. And now we're going to do the same with the front smaller crankshaft seal, and I've already got it on my tool here, look, just pressed it on, and that will fit over the crankshaft like so, like that, and again we have to just push it on like so, and then drive it home. Right, now I'm just going to fit the coolant pump, because that goes across the top of the engine, so we'll need it fitted. I've got my pump drive for the water pump in here. It's already in there. Change the O-rings. So, because it fits across the top of the engine, I need it in position so it's So an update on where we're up to. Now all 8 injectors and fuel rails are all bolted in. We have the fuel connecting each rail as well. They are all bolted up. High pressure fuel pumps all done. And I've tried to do as much wiring in the V that I can. So in the injector wiring for this side, the injector wiring for this side is actually in the main loom. So I'd have to end up cutting it out to get it. So we'll leave it like that. But we've got all our brackets fitted. We've got this the coolant pump fitted now as well, which comes across the top, which will be bolted onto that bracket once I find a nut. And the aircon compressor is all fitted up as well. So this side of the engine, bar the engine mount, and the coolant oil pipes at the bottom, which won't actually go into the engines in the car. Yeah, we're in pretty good position. So unfortunately, I'm going to leave it there for today's video, guys. I would like to have got more done, but with it being the end of March over the last couple of weeks, and I deliver cars for a living, it's been very busy and I've had minimal time in the workshop. So I thought I'd try and get something out rather than nothing at all. But in the next one, we will be getting it pretty much to a point where we may be able to go for a start. I'm going to really crack on with it over the next couple of days And yeah, we'll bring that to you in the next one. I did put on Instagram and YouTube about a new car reveal. I'm going to do the next Audi R8 video first. So the new car reveal will probably be mid to end of next week. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy the more in-depth R8 videos. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.